Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe.
Good morning, boys and girls. My name is Nicole Selesky. I am the nurse practitioner here at the Wellness Way in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And I know that all week long, we've been all excited about all of the different things that we're going to be pushing with Dr. Patrick Flynn today. And unfortunately, he was unable to make it live. He is traveling this weekend, and so he asked for me to step in. And I know that a lot of you have seen me. Actually, I was here last weekend, as well as Dr. Flynn and I did a Q&A. And so you get stuck with me again. I apologize. I'm not a big ball guy. I know that you love the guy and that he is always giving a fantabulous information. So I'm hoping that I will not disappoint you this morning as I take over this morning and talk about something that's really near and dear to my heart, something that I'm super passionate about, and something that goes along with the Christmas theme, and that is actually mistletoe. Yes, you heard me right. Mistletoe, the little leaf that you can kiss underneath during Christmas tree, actually has amazing medicinal properties, and it's something that's very hard to get in the United States, and it's something I am so excited to be able to talk to you guys about today with a different perspective yet this morning. But we have some really exciting announcements. If you have been following us on social media this week, or this, last couple of weeks, I suppose, you have been seeing all over the place that we are doing a huge month of giveaways. And if you know Dr. Patrick, you know that he absolutely loves Christmas. He has a Christmas tree up in his office every single day of the year, 365 days, he loves Christmas. And so we are giving away $50,000 worth of Christmas giveaways this month and this month only. And so in order to participate in this giveaway, you got to do exactly what you're doing with me right now. You need to be live on the show, and you need to be on the adp.thewellnessway.com. So if you're currently watching on Facebook, or are we on Instagram right now? Instagram, then you, if the comments there aren't going to count because we're not managing all the different platforms. So if you want to be included for these giveaways, you must go to adp.thewellnessway.com. Now, do you want to hear about what we have to give away this morning? Because it's going to be really, really amazing. This is week one, and so what we've got this weekend is we have, well, let me show you. Let me bring it up. One, and so here's how this is going to work, you guys. Okay, so in the comment section on adp.thewellnessway.com, I need you to put down the word of the prize that you want. Okay, and so I'm going to go through the prizes today. So everyone, be prepared. All right, so you got to say, okay, I want that one, and then you're going to put that in the comments. Okay, so here we go. So we have one, dun, 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 scholarship. This is my scholarship. A scholarship to the Wellness Way Academy. If you have been watching us for an extended period of time, you may or may not know that we have a Wellness Way Academy. And if you are loving our information and you're like, you know what, I would love to impact lives the way that you guys do. I want to be able to understand how to do the labs. I want to be able to understand how to talk with a person about what their labs mean and what supplements they need and all those kinds of things. You would be an amazing candidate for the Wellness Way Academy. Now, the Wellness Way Academy is a year-long program that will teach you everything that we know. It will teach you the anatomy and physiology, the testing, the herbs, case studies, and everything to put it all together. And the education costs $12,000. A $12,000 scholarship right here. We're going to be giving it away to one of you that's watching live today, right now. So if you want to be in the drawing for an Academy scholarship, I need you to type Academy in the chat, okay? So if you want a scholarship for the Wellness Way Academy, please write Academy in the chat, okay? So this is prize number one, $12,000. We're starting it out strong right away. Okay, so we have that. So we have the Academy Scholarship. Prize number 2 is we have 3 free consultations. So 3 free consultations, and if you see your doc once a month, if you see them every other month, you know, you can stretch it out as long as you want, but 3 consultations. The consultations are at $350 a piece, and so, gosh, 350 times 3, that's 1,050, right? Yes, 1,000, math is hard in the morning. A $1,050 prize for 3 consultations free with the Wellness Way, with your Wellness Way doctor. So if you want to be in the drawing for 3 free consultations, type consultation in the chat, okay? So if you want to be like, oh my goodness, I want to do the consultation, type consultation in the chat. Okay, prize number 3. We have 2 new patient packages. Now, this is going to work best for someone, you're going to get the most bang for your buck if you're local to the Green Bay area, because what's going to happen is you'll be, well, actually, I suppose if you're local to any clinic in general. So with the 2 new patient packages, so we're going to give away 2 of these. So if you want to become a new patient with the Wellness Way, put down patient in the chat, and in that new patient visit, we'll be able to go over your history, go over what you want to change. You'll get a full set of x-rays of your entire spine to see how we might be able to offer you some chiropractic solutions to help assess the trauma, because what happens with inflammation, we got trauma, toxins, and thoughts, right? And so the trauma, it can be a physical trauma that you need to get adjusted. We're going to look at the full side of x-rays to be able to see that. We're going to go over your lab histories, and then we're going to recommend testing for you in the future for what you can do to kind of get to the bottom of your health challenges. And so, with that being said, if you want to be in the drawing for a new patient, put patient in the chat. And then the last one is so fun. I would really love this basket. We have Eric over here, who's our little Wellness Way elf. Eric, can you put my name in the drawing for this basket, please? I think this is great. This is a chill basket, is what we call it. And ladies, sorry, it's the holidays. All of us need to chill. Okay, so I'm just saying, I'm hosting my first Christmas tomorrow, actually, with my dad's side of the family, and I think I need the chill basket. So what is the chill basket? This is so fun. Okay, so the chill basket, we have a bottle of kava, okay? So kava really helps you to just, like, if you're feeling high wound and kind of anxious and you just want to chill, take a swig of kava, okay? So kava. We've got California poppy, which should be in every single woman's medicine basket. California poppy is just amazing for kind of anxiety, overwhelm, stress. It just kind of helps to take the edge off. It's a lot healthier for you than a glass of wine, right? So we got the California poppy. That's a really good one. And then we have some high CBD oil extract. So kava and CBD actually together have been amazing, kind of as a little team for focus. If you're having a hard time focusing on your work or whatever, CBD, kava, California poppy, everything you need to know. And of course, you can't take shots of the Wellness Way herbs without your very own Wellness Way shot glass. I mean, hello, everybody needs one of these. It's a collector's item. So we have that. So we have the Wellness Way shot glass, the Kava California Poppy CBD oil, and of course we have some really great organic fair trade chocolate. This is one of my favorite brands. This is a salty dark chocolate, vegan, paleo, no sugar, no refined sugar, no cane sugar, no sugar alcohols, no erythritol, no dairy, soy, no palm oils, no lecithin, no emulsifiers, USDA organic, fair trade, all the good stuff. But it's chocolate and it's amazing, okay? And without all the crap, all right? So we got the chocolate. We've got these really fun Wellness Way socks, because who doesn't like to put on their socks on a Saturday morning and grab your coffee and watch a different perspective? And then we have a Wellness Way water bottle, okay? So if you want to be in the drawing for the chill basket, put basket in the chat, okay? So as we're going through the content today, I'll be reminding people of these giveaways so that you can start to put your comments in the chat so that we can make certain that we are giving away all of this stuff. So the grand total of all of this Gosh, so the free new patient visits like $430, so that's $1,000, $1,000, $12,000, $14,000. It's probably another $500. So we're giving away almost $15,000 right away this morning. Okay, that's amazing. In the spirit of Christmas, we cannot wait to be able to dote one of you guys. So you have to stay on for the entire show, even if you think I'm boring, because at the end of it, I'm going to announce who is the winner, and you got to be live to win. Okay, so stay here and put in the comments again if you missed it. Academy for to be awarded an Academy scholarship, consultations for 3 free consultations, patient if you want to be enrolled for the new patient appointments, and then also basket to win the chill basket. Okay, so that's so fun. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing in the comments, yes, what a great gift, the basket. Monica, her little cute emoji, she's like, please, I need that. I need to survive the holidays. Girl, I am with you. I am gonna ask the little elf to give me a basket on the way out of here. Okay, so here we go. So fun, so fun. And at the end, I'll be able to let you know where you can send your address so we can get you your goodies, okay? So awesome. So again, if you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, head on over to adp.thewellnessway.com. If you put those things in the comments in Facebook and Instagram, we're not going to capture them. So we're only monitoring one platform. So please go to adp.thewellnessway.com, find me live there, and put in the comments Academy for an Academy scholarship, consultations for the consultations, new patient or patient for the new patient packages, and then basket for the chill basket. Okay, I think we belabored that point. Who wants to learn this morning? Anyone? If you don't, that's okay. If you're just here for the scholarships, we love you too. So go ahead and we'll go into our next section on the perspective. Okay, here we are, I'm back. And we're doing the perspective. So today we are going to be talking about mistletoe therapy. Now this is, you guys, what I want you to know. As many of you have been following either myself or Dr. Patrick or the Wellness Way Green Bay or different things, I'll start with a story. So back in 2020, you know, we were going into this pandemic and there was a lot of unknowns, right? Like nobody really knew what to expect. We didn't really know what COVID was. We were worried that they were shutting down the entire world. And for a moment, you know, Patrick and I, we're looking at each other and we're like, you know, at first we kind of just observed, trying to see what this all was. And then we're like, you know what, we need some people to lead from the front. And we need to be able to show these people that we need to make your immune system strong. And Patrick created the slogan, make immune system strong again. And it went crazy all over social media. And we were talking about what you can do to support your immune response during whatever pandemic may come around, right? But then they, of course, in good big pharma fashion, had to create a solution for the problem. And it wasn't strengthening your immune system. The solution to that problem was found in a needle. And as we know, there have been some ginormous fallouts from that. And I'm not going to say the word out loud because we can get censored. But there has been a lot of different fallout from that. We have seen people die suddenly. We have seen people with myocarditis, pericarditis. We have seen celebrities that were young with no, issues, just all of a sudden found dead for different reasons. We have seen chronic illnesses go up. And when we were sitting down, and I will never forget, it was Dr. Patrick, myself, and one of our pharmacist friends. And we were downstairs after one of our different perspectives, and we were talking about the mRNA-based platform. And we were putting together the pieces of what this could be because this was something that was new, I mean, they had done some of this stuff in studies on animals before, but it was the first time that it had been rolled out to humans. And so as we hypothesized, we went live and we had said, and I'm gonna find that soundbite for you guys, and sometimes we had said, in the next few years, autoimmune disease and cancers are going to be at an all-time high. And that's exactly what we are seeing now in 2022. And I'm not going to be, naive enough to say that it's all because of that one intervention. But you guys, the pandemic did a lot to our health, whether you got infected with the virus or not. Suddenly people weren't going in for checkups. Suddenly people were stuck at home and they were just eating all the things, all of the different foods that they could get. They were supporting maybe local restaurants and eating out more than they were before the pandemic. Maybe they were eating a lot of different processed foods and a lot of different things. And instead of taking that time to make our immune system strong, a lot of us took that time to make them weak. Couple that on top of a high amount of mental stress. Couple that on top of a lot of division among family. I know for myself personally, I was the black sheep of my family. A lot of my family really drank the Kool-Aid when it came to COVID, and I was going against the grain, and that caused a lot of division among family and friends. And so a lot of this, when we talk about what causes inflammation in the body, trauma, toxins, and thoughts, we had a whole heck of a lot of that happening during 2020, right? And beyond. And I will tell you, and I felt in my spirit, I felt a stirring in my spirit. And I'm a believer, so I felt like it was God telling me last December, Nicole, cancer is coming, be prepared. And so I was like, okay. And I started looking into, what do I got to do? What do I got to learn? And I came across this course from Dr. Naisha Winters, who's a naturopathic physician. She was given 3 months to live, and she was 19 years old with stage 4 ovarian cancer. And she is now 38 years away from that diagnosis. And she is living and thriving and helping other physicians to help to figure this out. And I was very honored. Dr. Patrick sponsored me to be able to take her course. And I was very honored to learn everything from her of a lot of different things that we currently weren't doing. But we have, the Wellness Way has always been an amazing refuge for getting your body healthy, for working on your terrain, for working on your gut, your hormones, your mental stress, your traumas, of your body, and all those other things. But I looked Patrick in the eyes, and this is a story, and I looked at him and I said, Patrick, after I had the stirring in my spirit, I said, Patrick, I said, do you really think with what we have right now that we can look somebody in the eyes with a cancer diagnosis and tell them with 100% certainty, with what we have to offer, I got you 100%, if they want to go against standard of care? And he said, no, I believe there's more we could do. And I said, yes, I do too, and I think we should create that. And he's just like, all right, go for it, girl. And so I took the what is this, bull by the horns or the reins by the horse, or what? I took something to charge forward, okay? And I started to bull by the reins, I don't know what it is. You all know the thing, right? So I started to go, and I dove headfirst into this cancering journey. And one of the most exciting things that I came across was mistletoe therapy. Now, one thing I want to be clear is that when it comes to integrative oncology or the metabolic oncology is kind of the realm that I'd like to call it versus integrative, but the metabolic oncology, this is something that there's not a lot of providers in the country that's doing this sort of thing. And it's something that we're now offering here at the Wellness Way because of this very reason. Statistically, according to the American Cancer Society, I pulled this just last night. This is where the puck is going. Dr. Flynn just did a training on this week in our corporate office, that Wayne Gretzky once said that he wasn't a great player because he was the fastest or the most skilled, but he knew where the puck was going, and he went to where the puck was going instead of where the puck currently was. And so in 2020, Patrick and I saw where the puck was going. And according to the American Cancer Society, for males, 1 in 2 men will develop cancer in their lifetime, and 1 in 5 have a risk from dying from it. That is staggering. 50% of all men will get a cancer diagnosis in their lifetime, and that's from all sites, the most common being prostate. And the risk of dying from it is 1 in 5. For females, 1 in 3. 1 in 3 women have a risk of developing cancer, and 1 in 6 will die from it. And I'm sorry, but those statistics are way, way, way too high. And I will tell you that it's because of that that I work 7 days a week. Every day, as Patrick says, every day. 7 days a week, I am doing research, I'm doing the literature, I'm trying to put these pieces together, I'm reading the books, I'm doing all the things to be prepared for that, because 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women will develop cancer in their lifetime, and to me, that is unacceptable. If our medical advancements were so great, those numbers should be different. And at the end of the day, I have to put my head on the pillow and know that I did everything because I was put in a position to be able to help some of these people. And the Wellness Way clinics across the country are positioning themselves to be able to be ready for this. So chances are, if you're watching this and you don't have a cancer diagnosis, you probably know someone who does. And so it's your responsibility now as their friend to share this information, to tag them in this, to let them know that there is a different way, that there's another perspective, there's other things that they can do, even in conjunction with standard of care. A lot of this stuff works better in conjunction with standard of care. A lot of times people have the misunderstanding that you have to choose either the natural way or the Western way, and that is just not the truth. There can be a very beautiful and mistletoe therapy is one of those things that can make that very beautiful connection that much better. Okay, and so this is what we've got going on. And so, what is mistletoe? So, mistletoe is actually a parasitic plant that grows on different trees. So there was this dude, his name is Rudolf Steiner. You'll see him in the next slide. And what he was doing was he was walking through the forest one day, and he was just looking at the trees, and he saw mistletoe growing, and he's like, you know what? Like, that's kind of like cancer. You know, there's these leaves and these berries that are growing on these trees, and it's taking advantage of its host. And so depending on the tree that it comes from, it's going to differ in its therapeutic action and toxicity. So this is a page from a division of medicine called anthroposophic medicine. A lot of you probably have never heard of it, but it's talking about the constitution of the plant we should match with the constitution of the patient. So if someone who's a little bit more docile and a little bit more sweet, like, we're going to want to give them probably a lower I guess, lectin concentration, or a lower than someone who's a really rough around the edges and firmer. We got to give them, you know, a firmer medicine. We got to match the makeup of the plant to the person, and I just think that's a just amazing concept. And so only the white berried mistletoe is used in cancer. This is referred to as Viscum album. This is the scientific name for mistletoe, and this has a really long history of use in many cultures, dating back to Hippocrates' day, who was considered kind of the father of medicine. And so this is Rudolf Steiner, the dude I was talking with you about, and the other ones. And so, like, Druids, Greco-Roman Society, Celtics, and many others from the 1400s to 1942, they use this for epilepsy, for inflammation, for gynecological complaints, for hypertension and weakness of the heart. And he believed that Viscum album would have the effects in cancer, and this was just really discovered just 100 years ago. In 1917 and 1920, was the first injectable Viscum album for cancer patients was made. All right, so come on back to me. So here we go. So with that being said, you know, it's just amazing. Have you ever seen mistletoe? I mean, probably most of you have it hanging in your living room right now, underneath some sort of balcony or underneath some sort of awning or something, and you probably didn't even realize how amazing this plant really is. It grows like an orb, right? It's like in a circle. And I honestly thought that they just made it look like that, like pretty, just for purposes for your decoration. I don't know. I have one of those orb sorts of mistletoe things. I've had it for years, and I've had it in my home. We hang it up every year for Christmas. And so with that, you know, that is kind of like it has a lot of the same properties as the cancer, right? It starts here and it grows outward, and it takes advantage of its host. So I learned, I'm going to give credit where credit's due, from Dr. Dagmara Bain, and she did some additional testing, and I'm going to do, or additional training. I'm doing that same training here in February with the Physicians Association for Anthroposophic Medicine. However, she kind of gave me the quick start guide. She's like, we need more providers to be able to provide Mistletoe because this has been so amazing. So she taught me about the history. She got me started, and I'm so grateful to you, Dr. Dagmara, if you find this. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. But I wanted to say that mistletoe is something that, you know, there's, depending on the tree, so the brand that we use, the only one that's readily available in the United States. Here's the problem. A lot of these things are readily available in Canada, in Europe. It's all the rage in Germany. Every single cancer patient gets on mistletoe. There's some exceptions to the rule, and they do it alongside standard of care, and they're having amazing results. Some of you may have even known that there are people from the United States that have to fly to Germany to get this. And I will tell you, it just makes me angry that we have to go to other parts of the world because the FDA, Big Pharma, other things don't want us to have access to things that are actually helping, that are not patented medication. And so, yes, we need to get the word out about mistletoe, but at the same time, it's like, oh, but we don't want them to take it away. And having to think about that balance, because it's actually helping people, is actually mind-boggling that we have to even talk like that. But mistletoe is the most researched naturopathic treatment of all the other treatments for cancer, but it is not a solo therapy. Okay, and so with that, so we have, okay, so we're going to take a quick break. So if you're just popping in now, I can't forget, I have to halt my teaching for a hot minute, because we are going to be giving away $15,000 worth of giveaways today. And so if you're just now coming in, and if you're on Facebook or Instagram, I want you to head on over to adp.thewellnessway.com. And in the comments section, if you want to be considered for a giveaway for the Wellness Way Academy, a $12,000 scholarship, free ride scholarship to the Academy to learn everything from myself, Dr. Mitch Sutton, Dr. Zach Popendick, and Dr. Patrick Flynn on how to do the Wellness Way approach. You put Academy in the comments. Please put Academy in the comments, okay? And so then if you want to be in the drawing for 3 free consultations, please put consultations in the chat. And if you want to be in the drawing for a new patient appointment, a new patient packages, put patient in the chat. And if you want to be eligible for the chill basket, which includes our kava, our California poppy, our CBD oil, a shot glass. We've got some chocolates and some socks and a water bottle. It's amazing little basket. If you want that, please put goodness gracious, put basket in the chat. Okay, so whatever it is that you want to win, please put it in the chat. Academy, consultation, patient, or basket. Okay, cool. Back to my talk. All right, so now we're going back to the benefits of mistletoe. So studies have shown that mistletoe has positive impacts on the quality of life, survival, and side effects to conventional care. Some studies have shown that if you're taking mistletoe alongside chemotherapy, you have a 60% reduction in side effects from that chemotherapy. Because what happens is most people stop chemotherapy not because it is or is not working for their cancer, but because they just can't stand the side effects. They get neuropathy, or their whole body feels like it's falling apart. Obviously, you've seen people with hair loss. You've seen that their bodies are just wasting away. And part of that is because their doctors are telling them that a calorie is a calorie, just don't lose weight, eat whatever you want. Here's a warm cookie, which is actually keeping them sicker. But that's another talk. I am just irate at our Western medical system when it comes to cancer. There's a lot of really great things that they're doing, but there's a lot of really crappy things that they're doing that are keeping their patients sicker. This is well documented. If you have cancer, hear me now, you cannot have sugar in any form, nothing. We went through the sugar month last month, and we are doing a no sugar challenge in January for everybody, regardless of if you have cancer or not, because let me tell you this. All right, look me in the eyes. Yes, you. If you are living and breathing and you have a heartbeat right now, you have stem cells that could potentially become cancer at any moment. Okay? Most people have a cancering process in their body for 8 to 10 years before it ever shows up in anything of their lab work or tumor or growth or anything like that. For 8 to 10 years. So I would bet my money that over half of you watching right now are probably developing a cancer. So why not live right now to support your body to prevent that from happening in the future? Because all of us have stem cells, and the difference between someone that gets a cancer and someone that doesn't is something that that gets a cancer or someone that doesn't is their terrain, is their bucket, is how well they're taking care of themselves right now. Because with trauma, toxins, and thoughts, that bucket's going to start to overflow. And before you know it, your hormones are going to be imbalanced, your immune system's going to be weak, your sugars are going to be high, and we're going to be feeding into that cancering process. Start today. Don't wait until you have your diagnosis to wonder what you should do to prevent a cancer. All of you need to be doing this right now. Okay? So benefits, so it can be curative, it can be palliative, it can be preventive, it can be restorative. And it's cytotoxic. It'll give you some immune support, host support. Cytotoxic means that it's toxic to cancer cells. It's supporting your immune system. It's supporting the host. So this is really interesting conversation, but every single cell in your body, has its own circadian rhythm. Okay, so we've heard about the circadian rhythms, and actually, according to the American Cancer Society, they have now deemed shift work. So working in the evening time when everybody else is sleeping is actually a known carcinogen, a known cancer-causing agent, because it's going against how our bodies were biologically created. Okay, and so shift work is actually something that is making people super duper sick. It's super duper sick. It's a known carcinogen, and you're at higher risk for cancer if you have shift work. And I did shift work. I worked in labor and delivery overnights for many years. And it did screwy things to my body. I don't think that there's anyone that can work night shift that says that it doesn't affect you in some capacity. I kind of had this underlying nausea kind of all the time. And so it's important that we honor that circadian rhythm, that we're getting out and we're grounding, morning and night, that we're waking up with the sun and going to bed with the dusk, and being able to honor the light pollution that we're taking in every day. That's important. So what they found was in a lot of cancering patients, so how it works, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but how it works is it actually helps to increase your internal temperatures. So a lot of times with cancering patients, you'll see that they have like a lower body temperature throughout the day, and what should happen is, your temperature should rise and fall, just like your circadian rhythm. Just like your cortisol response. How many of you have ever gotten a Dutch test and you see your cortisol rise in the morning and then fall in the evening and then rise in the morning and fall in the evening? We should have this rise and this fall. And it's beautiful. And every single cell should be like that. And in our temperatures, it should rise in the morning and slowly fall before bed to kind of shut you down for hibernation, and then rise in the morning and shut you down before bed. And so a lot of time in our cancering population, if you're measuring their body temperatures for 4 days prior to starting mistletoe, you'll notice that it's kind of just flat-lined and low. And once they start taking mistletoe, they'll see that there'll be a rise in the morning and a fall in the evening and a rise and a fall. And getting that rise and the fall, getting in sync with those rhythms of all the biological rhythms of every single cell in our body is going to get us more in tune with our body and get our bodies to become activated, because they were given everything that they need to fight any kind of disease. And so we just have to honor that and not keep screwing it up. Our bodies don't make mistakes. We do. Right? And so it's important for us to get into that rhythm of that rise and fall. And I just think that that's amazing. And so there is so much information out there, so many studies that benefit mistletoe. If you want to know the scientific name of that, it's called Viscum album extract, or VAE. So if you go into Viscum album and you look at the studies, you can see that there is a ton of them with breast cancer and colon cancer and ovarian cancer and pancreatic cancer. It's the most studied. People are intrigued by this, guys. Okay, this is one riveting study that I wanted to share with you for certain. It's called the long-term follow-up of a randomized study of oral etoposide, which is a chemotherapy agent, versus Viscum album fermentatum pini, and that's come from the pine tree, as maintenance therapy in osteosarcoma patients in complete surgical remission after relapse. And these numbers were staggering to me. So this is what it says. So this is the skinny on this study. So in relapsed osteosarcoma, which is a tumor in the bone, okay, the 5-year post-relapse disease-free survival rate after the second relapse is less than 20%. I'll tell you, I had the honor of my junior year of, or in between my junior and senior year of nursing school, I applied for a nurse externship at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Okay, and St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, you probably all saw the ads for it last month, that they are absolutely incredible. They do a lot of studies for childhood cancers. And I went there, and there was over, I think, 4,800 applicants from around the country. 4 were chosen, and I happened to be one of them, and it was such an honor, and I was on the solid tumor unit. So they had 4 units, and we were each assigned to a unit. There was solid tumor unit, leukemia unit, bone marrow transplant, and ICU. I was on solid tumor. And what broke my heart is that standard of care was really great at getting kiddos into remission. But whenever they came back and they relapsed, my heart just sunk, because when they were in for their inpatient chemotherapy, there was some cases in which we just knew they weren't going to make it. And that summer, I had to help prepare kiddos for the morgue. And some of them I'm never going to forget. It's really different when you are on the nursing side and the family's done saying their goodbyes to this kiddo, and you have to clean them up and put the tag on their toe and zip the bag to bring them down. And I remember we didn't want the other kiddos on the unit to see or to be scared. So this one kiddo in particular, we put him on a tray and we put a bunch of towels stacked on top of him, so it looked like we were just pushing linens, because we didn't want the kiddos to know that we were actually rolling out their friend. And I had to do that multiple times that summer. The one I'm thinking about right now is, well, he was all over the news. His name is Trey. In the South, a lot of people, they call their kiddos Trey. So you have Junior, then you got Trey. That's like the third name down. And his real name was something else. And there was all over Nashville, pray for Trey, pray for Trey, pray for Trey. And his youth group came, and they were singing him a song as he took his last breath, and it was 10,000 Reasons. And the lyrics were, and on that day when my strength is failing, the end draws near and my time has come, still my soul will sing your praise unending, 10,000 years and then forevermore. And he told me the day before he died, he said, Nicole, I don't know if I'm going to be healed or if Jesus is going to take me home, but either way, I'll be okay. He was 14. And something in my heart stirred, and I was just like, dang, to have that kind of faith, to have that kind of confidence, he was inspiring to me. And I hated that I couldn't take it away. And so I worked my butt off that summer because I wanted to be offered a job at St. Jude so that I could be a part of the research, a part of the people that were making a difference. And then I found out I was pregnant with my first son. I stayed in Oshkosh at the time. And my own health challenges brought me to the Wellness Way. I'm not a crier. And it's kind of a full circle moment for me right now teaching you this study. Because where I felt so incapacitated before, that there's nothing I could do for this kiddo, I'm now put in a position that I can. And there's probably going to be hundreds and thousands of kiddos or adults that now, because of this different perspective, because of this different approach, because of this metabolic approach, because of things like mistletoe, gosh, will actually have a chance. So back to this study, this was showing that with relapsed osteosarcoma, the 5-year post-relapse disease-free survival after the second relapse is less than 20%. Less than 20% of people that get this type of cancer come back, which is what this kiddo had. Less than 20% of them make it. And so what they did is they tested oral etoposide, a cytotoxic chemotherapy versus viscum album extract therapy for the pediatric patients with a surgical complete remission after second relapse. So they had surgery, they debulked it, they gave them this chemotherapy versus mistletoe. The 10 years overall survival for the viscum arm was 64%. So 64% of the people that took mistletoe survived more than 10 years after that surgery, and only 33% survived when they did the chemotherapy. That's double the kiddos that are alive because of mistletoe. The 10-year disease, this is the most staggering statistic of it all, the 10-year disease-free survival was 55.6 in the viscum arm and 0% for the people that took chemo. So 55% of the people that got mistletoe were alive 10 years later, and none of the other kiddos that took the chemo were alive to stay the same. Why is this not standard? Why is it so hard? Why do I have to be afraid that the FDA is going to pull this from our clutches when 55% of the kiddos that took it versus 0% with what we're currently doing are alive? That is absolutely asinine. It is unacceptable, and I will shout it from the rooftops until there is no more breath in my lungs that we need to be talking about this on a daily basis. Whew. So they found in the viscum group that your CD3s and CD4s and CD56s, all the things we're telling you about that we test in our immune panel all the time since the beginning of days. Patrick has been doing this for 22 years, that all of these things are going up if we can use mistletoe simultaneously. Where every single time the chemotherapy is actually wiping those cells away. Why are we wiping away the good things that God gave us to be able to fight the dang thing when we can just support them to do what they were designed to do? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. No sense. If you need more evidence, I'll give you a few more evidence. Here we go. Here's another one. Preclinical and clinical effects of mistletoe against breast cancer. So though many treatment methods are currently established, including surgery, radiotherapy, biological therapy, and hormone therapy, and chemotherapy, and all these therapies are less effective, and recurrence is still an issue in breast cancer because of the side effects, the toxicity of the drugs, and the normal cells, and aggressive behavior of your tumors. Because let me get this clear to you, folks. Chemotherapy, radiation, all that stuff, can it be cytotoxic to, can it be cytotoxic to your tumor cells? Sure it can. But it is for every single cell in the body. Every single one. So your heart cells, your pancreas cells, your liver cells, your kidney cells, your white blood cells, your red blood cells, it will destroy everything. When I was at St. Jude, when we were doing our rounds and we were getting our reports from the night shift, they would tell us what their white counts were. Every single day we'd talk about their white counts. There were kiddos that had white counts of 0. 0 white blood cells. Not a single white blood cell in their system. Do we need white blood cells to fight cancer? Yes or yes? Yes, we need white blood cells to fight their cancer, but we are wiping them clean. So what we had to do is we had to go through double barriers. We had to wash our hands and we'd put on all of our garb, go through another process, put on the more garb, and go into their room because we can't bring in any germs. And then the minute we step out of their room because we forgot a pen, we have to take it all off and put it all back on and go back in there again, which is why I think it's absolutely stupid that they think that the mask is going to take away the germs and we had to throw it away every single time we had to reach outside of the door. I mean, hello. But I'm just saying, this is affecting every single cell in the body. So aggressive behavior in tumors, in spite of many improvements in the use of hormonal and adjuvant cytotoxic therapies for breast cancer patients, there has been no considerable reduction in the mortality of breast cancer today. So it's saying we have all these therapies, And yet we haven't seen any sort of reduction in the people that live or die from it. That's crazy. So the treatment success rate remains unsatisfactory. So they tried it with Visca, and the majority of the included clinical trials suggested a beneficial effect with good evidence with respect to survival, higher quality of life, positive remission rate, and reduction of chemotherapy causing side effects for breast cancer patients treated with mistletoe extracts. I saw Patrice, you're looking at this. Hi, Patrice. And so girlfriend, we got to talk about this. Everyone's got to be on this, okay? So clinical safety is a combined targeted and viscomeldum therapy in oncological patients. Again, you know, they can see that the probability of standard treatment, most people, so this is what I was saying before, most people stop standard of care because of the adverse effects. That's what this is saying here. And they were saying when targeted therapy was significantly reduced, this study showed by 70%. That the side effects of chemotherapy were reduced by 70% when mistletoe was applied. And vice versa, the probability of experiencing a treatment discontinuation, people that just say, I'm done with chemotherapy, I'm done, was threefold higher when treated with the targeted therapy versus when you have viscomeldum on hand. Okay, so they have been shown that viscomeldum extracts have been shown in vitro and in vivo to improve DNA repair radiation, ultraviolet radiation, and then all these different damages to the lymphocytes of breast cancer patients, and further, destruction of these cells in these breast cancer patients. And so they're saying that the short-term overall higher quality of life with the viscum has been reported, and they have less side effects with it. Another study. Preclinical and clinical effects of mistletoe against breast cancer. So this is just showing that there's all the side effects of these things, and again, that they're showing that there's a really good studies to show that they have a higher quality of life with the mistletoe extracts. Okay, so here we go. Come back to me for a minute. All right, so you saw me cry, and now we got to give stuff away. So if you're just now joining on, I wanted to give you one last announcement before the end of the show that we are giving away $15,000, $50,000 throughout the whole month, but $15,000 in today's show alone. We're giving away an Academy Scholarship where you can learn from myself, from Dr. Mitch Sutton, Dr. Zach Poppendick, and Dr. Patrick Flynn himself on the Wellness Way approach. We're giving away a free Academy Scholarship. If you want to be included in the drawing for a free Academy Scholarship, head on over to adp.thewellnessway.com. If you put your comments in Instagram or in Facebook, it will not be good enough because we are not monitoring all those platforms. You have to go to adp.thewellnessway.com and in the comment section put Academy if you want to be in the drawing for an Academy Scholarship. Number 2, if you want to be in the drawing for 3 free consultation visits, put consultation in the comment section. If you want to be in the drawing for a new patient package, including a free set of x-rays, put patient in the comment section. And then with that we have, if you want to be eligible for our what we call the chill basket, combination of kava, California poppy, CBD, chocolate, socks, water bottle, shot glass, put basket in the comment section, and we will be drawing at the end of the show, which is coming up just a bit. I just have one more little segment, and then we will be giving that away. All right, back to me. Oh. I'm really not that important, but I don't know. I guess I'm the host of the show, so I guess I got to say back to me. All right, so we go. So how does it work? So again, I was telling you this before. It's increasing your body temperature. It's increasing your white blood cells, including lymphocytes, neutrophils, and monocytes. It increases your natural killer cell activity. And if you have not seen my ADP on natural killer cells, I'm going to toot my own horn for a little bit because I think it's pretty awesome. So if you can go back, we have a show on natural killer cells, and I'll talk with you about what natural killer cells are, how they work, and you can learn more about that. It has an increase in CD4 and CD8 cells. How many of you have gotten your immune panels drawn during the pandemic to understand your immune system, and maybe your CD4s and CD8s were lower? This can actually help to increase those CD4 and CD8s. It has the liberation of cytokines, your IL-1s, IL-6, TNF-alpha, IL-2, interferon gamma. These are the things that can help to fight off those cells. And it's going to liberate some of this inflammatory mediators such as CRP. If you have high CRP, it can be helpful for all of that. And so mistletoe is like my new thing. There's not a lot of providers that provide it. but I'm offering it to you at the Wellness Way Green Bay. And we can do remote consults. So if you, it doesn't matter where you are in the country, we can get you some, okay? And so this is very important. But I want you to know that this is not a magic bullet. It's not a silver bullet. I don't want you, if you are sitting here and you have cancer, you know someone that has cancer, and you're like, oh, we just got to get you some mistletoe and it's going to go away. Wrong approach. Wrong thought. This is a therapy that, alongside other lifestyle changes, getting rid of sugar, if you take mistletoe and you keep eating sugar, nothing's going to help, okay? Getting rid of sugar, getting into a therapeutic ketogenic diet, getting in, working on the terrain, working on your gut, working on your hormones, working on your immune system, working on your stress, working on your toxic burden, okay? Maybe you may need standard of care, maybe you don't. You need to have a qualified provider at your side to be able to help you dissect all of the labs and see if what you're doing is working. They need to be asking the right questions. They need to be running the right labs to see if this is helping or if this is destroying everything in the process. And that's something that I'm obsessed about being able to do with you guys, and that I'm training our Wellness Way docs across the country to do the same. Okay? And so it's really important that you understand this theory. A lot of times we have the germ theory and we have the terrain theory. This is the current thought. Germ theory means that everything else is bad. We got to keep the fish safe. We need to, I'm not going to say that word out loud, the fish. Okay? Terrain theory is, why don't we just go ahead and clean the tank? If we're putting more poison on top of an already poisonous environment. Now, you may have had great success of getting rid of that. You may have had great success of getting rid of the tumor, but nothing has changed in your body, and in fact, it's probably weaker than it was before. What's going to happen when there is remission in 5-10 years? And breast cancer is one of the, most people with other types of cancers, it can come back within 5 or 10 years. Breast cancer is a little different. Like, it can come back 20, 30 years later. And so, you know, although standard of care is brilliant at getting rid of the tumor, initially the tumor is not the bad guy. The environment, the terrain, the body that got you the cancer in the first place is what we need to be focusing on. So going to a terrain-based provider, and there are mistletoe providers all over the country. I know I'm biased because I like to think I like to put it all together. But I'm saying that, you know, if we work on the terrain, girl, I mean, why not? Why not do everything? You've got nothing to lose, right? If you want to learn more about this, here's a couple of my favorite books written by Dr. Naisha Winter. She's my mentor when it comes to cancer. The Mistletoe Therapy and the Emerging Future of Integrative Oncology and the Metabolic Approach to Cancer, talking to you about this terrain-based approach. She is brilliant. She has done it herself, and she takes mistletoe even still 38 years away from her cancer. And so this is something that I am really, really excited to offer to all of you. That's all I got today. So I hope you learned something. We have to give away.
So Doc is on the phone.
Oh.
And he is adding a second scholarship to today's giveaway.
Oh, so Dr. Flynn is on the phone, and he is adding a second scholarship to today's giveaway. So that means that we are giving away, gosh, over $20,000 worth of giveaways this morning. And so we have 2 giveaways for the Academy Scholarship, and we have the Chill Basket, and we have consults, and we have all these things. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, you know what? Here we go. Drum roll if you are home. Drum roll. Okay, so our winners. So for the, you know what, I'm going to do the Academy Scholarship at the end because that's the most expensive one. Okay, so for the Chill Basket, if you're a winner, you can see the little link down here. Please send your contact information with your email, your name, and your address to askdrpatrick@thewellnessway.com and say, hey, I was the winner. Here's my address. Send me my goodies, and we will send it to you today, tomorrow, so this week, soon. We'll send it to you right away. Okay, and so then there we go, and then and so we are going to be sending that out to you guys. And so if you are announced as a winner, right there, that's the info. Ask Dr. Patrick at thewellnessway.com. Okay, so for the chill basket, we got a water bottle, we got socks, we got chocolate, we have kava, we have California poppy, we have CBD and a shot glass. This is going to, drum roll, my girl Patrice. Patriceville, you get this coming at you. Awesome, girlfriend. So congratulations. All right, so Patrice is the winner of the chill basket. Next, we have the new patient packages. So, so we have this one. So we have Jolene is the winner of a new patient package. So Jolene, if you have been commenting on the adp.thewellnessway.com and your name is Jolene, you get a new patient package. And then the second one goes to Tammy Thorpe. So Tammy Thorpe, you are a winner of a new patient package. Congratulations. All right, and then number 3. So we're going to do this. We're doing this in reverse order because this is really fun. Okay, so this is free consultations. The winners of these get 3 consultations. Now, Eric, are these 3 different people? This email address, is that a different person?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 3 free consultations, which is valued at over $1,000 with a Wellness Way provider. We have the winners are number 1, Sean Bolt. So if Sean Bolt, if you are on live, congratulations. You have won a package of 3 free consultations. And Margaret, you also are the winner of 3 free consultations. Congratulations. And lastly, we have an email address, actually, that's a person. That is kenmar1990 at yahoo.com. A girlfriend, or maybe you're a guy, I don't know, maybe you're a guy, I don't know who you are, but if you, either way, guy, girlfriend, whoever you are, you win. I realize I say girlfriend a lot, I don't know. So we got, kenmar1990 at yahoo.com. You got 3 free consultations coming at you. And last but not least, the Academy Scholarships. We have 3 full ride scholarships per Dr. Patrick from his phone call this morning. 2? Oh, we have 2. I thought we said we had 3. Oh, no, we had 2. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, so we have like first and last names. We have 3. I was looking that they were coupled. Okay, so we have number 1, Annie Pfeiffer Denome. You win 1. And Kristen Johns Karanen. You win an Academy Scholarship. So thank you to, so congratulations to Annie Denome and Kristen Karanen. You win the Academy. I cannot wait to see you guys in class starting in February. I think they're going to go in that class, I would imagine, because we just started one. So they'll be starting in February. So congratulations to all of the winners. And we will be giving away things like this all month long. And so I promise you next Saturday is going to be Patrick. Although I hope I didn't bore you too much. And we are going to be giving away over $50,000. Now I guess it's over $60,000 now that we did another Academy Scholarship here. And so Merry Christmas to all of you guys early. Thank you so much for joining me this Saturday on A Different Perspective. Have a great week.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a single video or live stream.
Each week on A Different Perspective, we bring you the most cutting-edge information on health you won't find anywhere else. For more information on this topic, please visit our website. A Different Perspective offers life-changing information and resources to share and explore. A Different Perspective is leading a health revolution.